Thank you, Mr. Damback. Our next speaker will be one of our very forthright, ardent, and longtime supporters, Congressman Dana Rohrabacher from California.
Well, here we are, and I want to congratulate and thank you. Thank you. You are here. You are sitting in the sun. You have a message. You are trying your best to, number one, make sure that the people of the United States have their attention focused on the repression of people in China. You are doing a wonderful service, not just to the people of China, but to the people of the United States. As you are fully aware that when you are a free person, you can spend most of your time worrying about your family, trying to pay your bills, trying to make sure that the water system in your house works or that there's a problem that you have to deal with. And sometimes those tasks that we have, or what's going on with your church or at the school, sometimes that freedom that we have to take care of ourselves distracts us from some of the historic, significant things that are going on throughout the world. And if the people of the United States do not pay attention, we have lost an incredible force for goodness in this world. You are drawing the attention of the American people to the brutal repression in China. You are drawing the attention of the American people to the fact that thousands and thousands of human beings are being murdered, are being taken away from their families and thrown into dungeons and to jails and to work camps. And that these things, these evil things are happening not by some rogue element in China, but instead with the blessing and the direction of the leadership of the Communist Party that controls the government of China. This fact is so important for the Americans to understand that that force in the world, if you allow an evil force like that to continue without being challenged, that evil force will someday affect us here, and those of us who are looking after our children, those of us who are looking after our families, will see that our lives are affected because we, as human beings, must stand together. The good people of this world need to stand together against the type of tyranny and injustice and the human suffering that's brought about by this dictatorial regime in China. We must stand together as human beings. You are here reminding us of that. I am very grateful to you for reminding me and my fellow Americans of these values. If we lose these values, we have lost the world. And we have too many people in the United States today, as we go through economic times, who believe, well, we must do anything we can at the moment to secure more business for our country. No. No, business and profit are less important than the human values that our founding fathers made at the essence of the United States. Our slogan, the American businessmen that go to China are making deals with a monstrous regime. Those deals do not reflect the values of the American people, and we need to remind the American people that those deals, while entrapping the people of China under the grip of their regime, at the same time is harmful to the people of the United States. However, there are two groups of people who are benefiting: the gangsters that run Beijing and the top business leaders who are putting bonuses in their pocket for closing down factories here and shipping them to China at a time when the people of China have no right to organize unions, no right to make demands of their employers, which we as American citizens believe are fundamental. You are here to remind us of the fundamentals and remind us that we Americans must stand for something more than short-term profit for big business. So thank you for what you're doing today. Let us remind our fellow Americans, let's try to get their attention. And one message that we're also sending is not just to the American people, but to the people of China. And I am very proud of you for that as well. Because by mobilizing the attention of the American people, you are telling those brave souls in China who are struggling for freedom that they are not alone. Their families may have been separated. Maybe one of their children is languishing in prison. But we are telling the people of China, we know that's happening to you. You are not forgotten and you are not alone. We have to send that message if we are to have a peaceful world. And let us always remember, you know, I look at the history of the Falun Gong and I remember that at one time the Falun Gong was accepted by the leadership of China. And the leadership of China bases their power on an ideology. And then they realized that the Falun Gong philosophy is a Chinese and a humanitarian philosophy. And their philosophy comes from Marx and Lenin. That's the justification that they use for repressing people. Which one was Chinese, Marx or Lenin? Neither one of them. The Falun Gong represents a movement in China that reflects the traditional values of the people. The government in China reflects tyranny and injustice and a philosophy that was brought in from Europe. It is about time the people of China direct their future and not some philosophers of communism brought in from Europe 100 years ago. Thank you very much. We will stand together. Our children will live in a world in which the dictatorship of China has passed away and is as distant a memory as the communist government in the Soviet Union is now fading into history. And on that day, my children, who are 7 years old, will celebrate with your children and celebrate with the people of China that we can live in a world with peace and in a world where all of us care about each other's children and family lives, because that is the essence of what freedom is, that we can care about those things. But we need people like you to remind us of those important values that are important to achieve before we can have freedom and a wonderful life with our families. So thank you all very much. God bless you.